Hello everyone, Busy Gamer Dad back again, going to be doing another session gameplay recording after the Steam Next Fest, where we take a look at a game over the course of 3 episodes, about 20 to 30 minutes long, see if it's something you haven't heard of, see if it's something you wanted more information about, and if you do want to get it for yourselves, I will have a link for you guys in the description, as well as a short description of the game from Steam or wherever I can pull it from. This week we're taking a look at The Last Flame Prologue. This game is currently free. It is basically a demo, a long-running demo for the developers to promote The Last Flame, which is in early access as well. If you wanted to buy it outright, I will have both those game links available for you. It's about $15 on Steam currently, and I think they're doing a really great job with it because this is an auto battler game. Very much like Teamfight Tactics or something like that. It's a teamfight champion game where you have a bunch of champions, you equip them, you level them up, and they auto battle their way through victory or defeat, depending on what kind of a makeup you get, what kind of rolls you get. You can re-roll stats. There's a lot of moving parts here. They do a really good job with displaying those moving parts, though, and that's why I thought it would be a really good game for you guys to show, or for me to show you guys here on the Busy Gamer channel, something that you don't have to be super interactive with, something that you can let run in the background. Essentially, you pick a few buffs here, you place a few champions there, and you hit go and see what happens. See if you win, see if you lose. And I think that that is a really great idea for someone who's a little taxed on time, a little taxed mentally from the day, and they just want to unwind, play a game for about 20-30 minutes. And that's about how long my previous run ran for this game. I didn't win ultimately. I got to the last boss and I got stomped, but hopefully we'll have a good victory for ourselves here. I will run our first episode through the tutorial, so you see a lot of pop-ups and things like that I'll read along with us and try and streamline it so you guys can get a feel for the game. This has been out for a while now, but they have been making a few changes and a few tweaks to the stats and the characters and the general gameplay in the prologue, as well as I believe in the early access as well, to make sure that they are balancing the game properly. And you have the voice of the community behind this game because it has garnered a lot of popularity. So without any further ado, we are going to do our dad joke, and then we will jump right into it. When will the little snake arrive? I don't know, but he won't be long. There we are. All right, there's our dad joke for the episode. Let's jump into this. So like I said, in the prologue, there's a lot of things that are not necessarily available to you. There's an endless mode, there's a challenge mode. I don't know if these are available in the early access. If you happen to know, please leave a comment down in the YouTube for other people who are questioning that as well. We'll just do the Ascension. Novice is the only one available. I don't know if you'll be able to beat this and then go on to a higher level of difficulty. But like I said, Novice, I actually didn't win. I didn't defeat the last boss. There is a pretty steep learning curve in a sense of understanding what the mechanics of the game under the hood are doing. There's a lot of stats and a lot of things like bleeds, stuns, and frost damage, physical damage, and things like that. After you understand those few inner workings, though, the game runs smooth and you can pretty much just fly through. I found towards the end of my run, I wasn't even really reading the full tooltips of items, and I was able to really optimize my build. But again, like I said, I died. So take that with a grain of salt. All right. In this tutorial, we'll receive a few objectives to complete, which will explain the basics of the Last Flame. You can accomplish them in any order. Don't feel rushed to do them as soon as they appear. At all times, you can press the tab button in the bottom right-hand corner to open the guidebook. This is very helpful. The guidebook is very well thought out and very well laid out for the busy gamer to go back to and refer to. So at the opening of every run, we'll have to pick 2 heroes. This is the tutorial about the heroes. You have their HP, their mana. They have an active ability and a passive ability. The passive ability is basically what they start with, and then the active ability is like their unique ability that they can do once their mana bar fills up. Every attack generates 1 mana. Mana regenerates passively over time. Heroes cast their active ability, like I said, when their mana bar is full. You can press H and you'll bring up all your heroes and you'll be able to see all their stats and what they do. And like I said, this game actually has really great tool tips, which is awesome for people who love to see that, and the busy gamer to come back to this game after a week of work or school or just being busy and they don't necessarily remember what all the inner workings of the game are. They can read the tool tips and figure it out. After that, you can just also hover over middle mouse button or right click and it'll dismiss it. So what 2 are we going to pick? Well, no, we had this guy last time when I did my run. Let's try something a little different, though. I took a tank and a caster the first time. Let's see how we do with 2 melee guys. Let's go with Gerald, and let's go with Naka. Let's see what those two can play off of each other. Now we get to pick an artifact. I'm looking at those guys, and just from what I had read in my previous run, they're melee strikers, which is great. This is a relic, though. This doesn't necessarily augment the heroes. It just augments the overall gameplay. Like this one here removes the elite's health a little bit. This one makes shops a little less expensive. This one gives us free rewards at the end of each fight, and heals for 3 flame. We'll get into that in a little bit. And you can also research at the campfires. Let's do the elites just to have that, and then we get a little cool select last flame kind of thing. We'll move on through this. So if you're familiar at all with like Slay the Spire or any of the roguelite games that are out there, this pick a path is not going to be foreign to you. But essentially, you have a tool tip here that tells you all about what each of these fights are, or I should say a legend that tells you what all of these fights are. You go through, you get the event, you get the elite fight, you get the star fight, whatever have you, and then you can proceed to the boss. Now, what do we want to do? I think I want to go down this way, because this seems to have the most variety. It does have a campfire. That'd be really nice to have. Yeah, let's do the bottom so that we can potentially see all of the various, what's the word I'm looking for? Events, essentially, even though there is an event one there. Nodes, we can see all the nodes. All right, so if you've ever played a team fight game before, this goes over the preparation phase. You have this at the start of every fight. You can basically drag and drop up to 5 heroes out onto the field, and you can hold more heroes on your bench in your preparation phase. Those ones don't get activated inside the confines of the combat, and then when you drop the hero, it stays there. Now, what this doesn't tell you is, or doesn't like necessarily clearly tell you, is if I drop Naka there and I drop Gerald here, you'll see that this guy spins. But if I click on Naka, it's like basically he's focusing on the last person you placed. That's actually kind of critical. It may mention that, it may not mention that, but I just kind of found that out on my own. And I think Gerald has more, no, Naka actually has more health. And when gaining a shield from any source, hero gains attack speed. This guy has more of a cleave attack, that's fine. Are you that, oh, generates 5 gold, and also more of a cleave attack. So both of these guys are kind of cleavers. You can also right click on the enemies to see what they do. And looks like they get some quick attack speed. All right, cool. We'll just start this off. I have the combat going really fast right now. We're just going to stomp this guy. It's 2 against 1. Not very hard. Now, get some gold. You actually pick all of this. Don't click proceed like you think you can only get one of these. You can click all of these and select and pick up all of these. Please do that because that's not necessarily apparent for everyone. Now, do we want a ranged attacker? Do we want an... What do you do? When 60% max health, steal magic. Okay, that'd be cool. Another AoEer that does bleed. This is more of a crit person. They have a large health pool. I'm thinking I want to go with this because right now we have a melee guy, 2 melee guys, and not really a big tank, but the archer seems really nice to have too. And they do an AoE attack with theirs. Apply stun. So that might be useful as well. Let's go with the tank though. Leuko. Okay, cool. And then we'll pick an item. I guess I'll do the heavy mace. That seems like a... No, you know what? Let's do the caster's hat, and then we get another item. Oh, bonus items. Great. I love bonus items. They're awesome. Attack speed, max health. So I want to kind of put that on you, and I want to put that on you. Great. Cool. All right, now we're kind of locked into this outward path, which is fine by me, because that makes my choices simple for you guys. Now, we're going to basically run these guys into the ground. I'm going to have that there, and then I'm going to do this. This should work out the way I plan. Yeah, so this guy ran over and attacked Leuko, and then we had these guys just doing crazy DPS to the others, which is great. Hero, Kara, Rose. I think I want Rose because Rose heals allies when her ability is filled. Every time the hero heals a hero, or can be self, by time gain 2 spell power. So they can stack spell power pretty quick. Healer heals party, heals themselves. I think this will give us more sustain overall, so I kind of wanted that. And then let's see here, what else we get? Oh, so this is kind of important here. These plans, they're not items for you to pick. They are items for you to or attributes for you to put onto existing items. And what do I mean by that? Well, so I'll pick this item here. So notice that I don't have this item here. It's telling you to go in the forging, and this is the next, the forge down here in the corner. This is the next tutorial thing. So basically what it's saying is you don't actually have this item yet. You have to forge this item into one of your existing items. So if I put this here and put that there, and I click forge, which is free, this dagger now has the attributes of the boot, and then I can just drop that back on Naka here, and he'll have all the benefits of everything. So let's go on to the next fight. So this is going in through those active and passive abilities, as well as the debuffs that these apply. Bleed scales with attack damage, especially critical strikes. Frost scales with spell damage. Burn scales with attack speed and ethereal damage. Shock scales with stun and faster casting. So this is what I was talking about. This is starting to get into the complexity of the game, and you can see that they actually break it down a little bit further here for you as well. You know, you actually see the percentages of what happens with each of these things. And I do like that they give you this little blurb overview if you just don't want to read this and you just want to get on with the game. But basically, it is exactly as it says, and I have not been led to believe otherwise. My first party that I played through, I had mostly Shock and Frost, and it wasn't a bad mix. It really wasn't. And these abilities that you have here from your champions interplay off of each other pretty well. So that's, I think, why a hallmark of a really good game design is if you're leaning into 1 or 2 attributes here, you can actually have some good synergies. Not one build felt too terribly overpowered, or I felt like I was missing out because my champions had, or my heroes I should say, had overlapping abilities that worked off of each other pretty well. At least how I felt. And I'm no expert in the game, so I was able to really piece that together for myself. Now, these guys here, this one does a spell damage, right? And it just blasts the person, yeah, for a big chunk of damage when they're full. This one does a swipe, I believe. All enemies increase their, yeah, so this one basically increases, no, okay, so this one increases this guy's attack speed to do more damage. So we want to get these bugs in the back dead about as quick as possible. And so that's where these 2 rushing on the side here are going to be critical. And then I'm actually going to have you stand over here. And I'm going to have you drop right there. This should work out well. If it doesn't, I only have myself to blame. So yeah, Naka's in the background doing some damage, and then they just basically bum rushed there, which is great. Alright, so we're going to get another hero. What are you? Ryu. Takes advantage of shields. Ryu shields themselves. Are they like a would-be tank? That sounds pretty interesting, actually. So I do love the hero variety that you have in here. It's quite awesome. Anytime this hero... So this is their basic ability, essentially, and then this is their active. It always goes in that order. So, cast a Dragon's Wrath, dealing damage in a line. He gains a shield equal to the damage dealt. That's actually pretty nice. At any time, if this hero has less than 200 shield, and if their health is above 25%, consume 200 shield to gain attack speed. Additionally, gains lifesteal. Wow, that's pretty powerful, actually. But this is just a flat every 4 attacks. If they're above 25% health and does not have a full shield, the hero loses 5 health and gains a shield. Okay. In addition, when fight starts, hero loses. Oh, wow. So that's like, this is a risk-reward mechanic. And then Pyro just seems like your standard Pyro mage. I think I'm going to go with Ryu. I think I like that idea. And let's do... Do I want to do attack damage? Let's reroll. Let's reroll. It's asking us to reroll anyway, so we might as well. And we get some green items here too. Attack speed and attack damage. Let's do the attack damage. And then, ooh, critical. That's actually really helpful. Right there. So the crit, I believe, worked with you. Hero gains critical strike chance. Yeah, performs a crit. Okay, and then he has bleed, I believe, right? No, it doesn't look like he has bleed. Is it Naka that has the bleed? It is Naka that has the bleed. Okay, so I'm actually going to give this sword to Naka. And then I think I want to do the attack damage on Gerald. There. Okay, cool. All right, and we'll proceed on. Go to the campfire, take a little rest. Origins are global, so this basically gives us team buffs for our entire group. Picking an origin really helps. Enemies take more damage while stunned. Frost damage, bleed. All heroes gain crit equal to their team's bonus mana regeneration. That's not bad. For every 100 healed ally gains this. I'm gonna do the stun one and see if we can get somebody who's a stunner in the next one. We can also enchant an item. I don't necessarily want to do that. I mean, we have the flame here to do that with. You know what? Might as well. Well, it's showing you the mechanic. We'll enchant this and see what happens. And we'll I don't know if I need to. You know what? Let's heal. Let's heal. It tops us off, and then we'll proceed. All right, we're going on. Now, I'm really hopeful that I get a stun guy, or this perk is going to be pretty useless. But I had someone last time who was a stunner that really came integral for our team's DPS, even without that passive on. So this is going into the items and the ranking up mechanics. So we have these trophies down here in the corner, and you can use them to give a player, a hero, 5 experience points, and it allows them to level up. They gain a random passive when they do that. It's perfectly fine because you can actually swap the random passives through event mechanics as well later on. So if someone gets a really good mechanic or good passive, but it's not really for their character, you can swap it to someone who's more appropriate. And then from here, this is also telling you that you can equip the items, and you can also drag and drop full equipment sets to other players, which is a really cool utility. So if you have a certain fight that you really want to have someone else have a certain item set that another character is currently holding or another hero is currently holding, then that might be more appropriate for them to hold on to that item set for that fight. But for here, let's do the level up mechanic. Let's get these 2 leveled up. And then we get to pick the random perk. Crit strike. Oh, if that were only a heal. Alright, so let's do... Or I'm sorry, if that were only shock. Let's do the crit. Because that's fine. Because we'll have him go and fight this guy on his own. And then let's do you next. Crit, shock. Every time the hero critical strikes, all heroes. Oh, okay, so that's actually not terrible. Cast their ability twice, though. That's actually pretty cool. Let's do that one. So I'm going to have... so we're in the upgrade mode still. So I'm going to move you, Gerald, down here. I'm going to swap you over to here. I'm going to have you focus there. I'm going to have you try and draw their attention. And you're going to go right here. This could end completely and totally horribly, but we'll see. That's kind of the point, anyways, just to have fun with it. Yeah, we definitely need to get our tank upgraded. Yep, Gerald held him off pretty well. Good. Awesome. Item there. For every 4 attacks, gain spell power. But max mana increased. That's not terrible. Yeah, let's do that one. And then we'll proceed. We'll go to... Let's go to the shop. We have a fair big grip of cash, and I would love to spend it. This guy right here is going to be our guy that we're going to drop in, because he has the shock. That will definitely play into our current perks. Now, what else do I want to get? Lifesteal. That's not terrible. Like I said, there's a lot of player choice in this game, and it's almost too much. I really think that they have a great thing going, but I really do feel like it's a lot. Gain shield times mana. Let's do the shield one here, and then we need to pick this up for... We need to pick that up so we can enchant it onto it. And then damage but lower crit chance. Huge damage but lower crit chance, I should say. Let's do the damage and lower crit chance, and then we'll just get we'll get this to offset it, and then we will be good to go. All right, and then we will proceed. Let's go into the elite fight. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so these ogre guys. So this goes into the combat of the overall combat. This is something important, so I'll read it along with you guys. Heroes do not die permanently. They revive after each fight. Heroes' deaths make you lose flame, though. If you lose a fight, your run is not lost, but you gain less rewards, and you gain or no rewards overall. Bosses make you lose increasingly more flame if you happen to lose against them. Essentially, like if you lose against the last boss, it is a game over. Enemies get stronger as their rank goes up, and you see that by the star mechanic. Enemies have higher ranks you need to be careful of because they hit harder, they do certain abilities, etc. And then there's a fight timer here where the various bosses enrage and will kill you outright, basically, is what it comes down to. So what I'm going to do now, I think, is what I wanted to do before. I'm going to enchant the dagger. Yeah, I'm going to enchant the dagger with this. Forge that. I would like to get... Who has the hammer right now? Does Ryu? No, he has the hammer right now. Ryu doesn't really have anything, which is kind of a bummer. We'll kick the fight off, and let's see what happens. Because I want to see how this plays out to see where I need to put more defensive stuff. And it looks like we handled it actually pretty well. Gerald on his own was actually really strong. So, let's do this. I want to bring that down. I want to put that down. I want to forge on that. And then I want to bring... No, do I want to do that? No, I would rather... do that. And then... Do you have spell power? Are you spell power? You're not spell power. You're attack damage. So really, she's the one who has the spell power. Maybe I will put it on there though. Let's put it on there, and let's see if that works out for us. It might, you know, go down completely and totally and horribly in flame. But hey, we'll have some fun regardless. Drop that onto you. You can give that to him, I guess, and then polearm can go to Naka, or to Ryu. Okay, and then we'll get another item here too. Of course, it's a plans and that we don't have. Let's do that there. Now the relic. Gain 2 shields. Oh, we can get a team size, but all heroes gain one more. Let's do that, because then we can drop him into our mix. And then let's go into the forge real quick. Drop that and that. There. I may live to regret that, but we'll see. Alright, now let's go to the event. So these are entirely random. Again, it's, you know, cave-ins, dig for things, risk-reward mechanic, etc. I don't want to... Oh, yeah, okay, so there's a chance for a treasure chest to explode. And we're going into the last fight. Leave the chest behind. It contains tons of gold and feel FOMO for the rest of the adventure. I honestly, I'm fine with that. I am very tactically going to say no. Now, we're going to do this right here. Heroes and effects inflict the amount of shock on enemies when the fight starts. Hero lose. Ooh, that's a bit rough. Heroes burn whenever a hero gain is below full mana, and the lowest percent hero gets healed. These are all super good. Every 6 seconds, the hero with the highest MP gains max MP equal to the team's attack damage and receives... That's kind of huge, actually. But I don't know if that's going to really help us. When I like the time traveler one, because that gives us like a little bit of an AoE heal. All heroes gain max mana, and they basically get their own, all of their abilities to pop off. Oh no, I'll lose the other one? We can only choose one at a time. I did not know that. Ooh. Alright, so... Heroes and effects inflict the amount of shock on enemies. No, I think I'm going to leave the one I have, because that would really help us. I will enchant a weapon, though. Let's enchant the polearm. And let's, we have one more action. We're coming up on the boss fight, so I might as well enchant another thing. Sure, let's enchant the shield. Worst that happens is we're gonna lose horribly. Cool. Awesome. So this goes over the targeting. Basically, it goes into what we were talking about with the heroes and their abilities. When you right-click on them, seeing what their abilities do and how they function, and what their passives and actives do. You want to make sure, again, that you are prioritizing where they will hit the enemy. So you can kind of see here that best targeting is prioritize the highest number of enemies for their active spells. So you want to make sure that you are looking to where they're placed and where they will actually use their abilities. And you also want to make sure you understand if it's a linear ability or an AoE ability. So the linear abilities go in a straight line out. The AoE abilities affect an area of the battlefield, and you want to make sure you're learning the game mechanics for that. Now, this fight is going to be pretty dicey. I'm going to have Gerald stand here, and I kind of want to have Ryu on that side. And let's hope that this works out. This could end horribly. Let's have you get that guy on, and off we go. Worst that could happen is we fail. Ryu is tanking, which is pretty fun. Gerald's doing work over on this side. He's doing work, and we're just destroying that dragon. Awesome. Big win for us. What do we get? We get to select a hero. A legendary hero, Flynn. Looks like another healer? No, a spellcaster for shock, actually, as well. And that, I think, is really the shock ability, really what made that fight super easy. So I'm actually going to pick him up. And then these are legendary enhancement items. Oh, so this is a call out to another YouTuber. Oh, that's awesome. Cool. I didn't know they had that stuff in the game. That's pretty awesome. Nice. Let's do the specialty tome, and then we'll pick a relic. Yeah, if you haven't seen Wonderbot stuff, he covers a lot of roguelike games and everything like that. Great YouTube content creator. If you haven't seen his stuff, recommend checking out his channel. He does daily videos for roguelites and various games that are coming out. Much better than I'm doing right now. So encourage you guys to go take a look at his stuff if you haven't seen that yet. Let's see here. Reroll, refill items 50%. Your flame cannot be reduced below 1 during combat. Oh, so this is basically like, okay, if we did lose a fight. You can now research at the shop. Research, choose a relic, costs 8. Oh, okay. Let's do the engineering plans. Let's have some fun with that. I don't think we'll be able to continue much further. I think that's kind of the end of the prologue. No, we get to go to Act 2. All right, awesome. Cool, and we get to fight the Pharaoh. We'll do that in our next episode. So, Busy Gamer Dad showing you guys The Last Flame, the prologue. I love this game. It's an auto battler, great for the busy gamer. After a stressful week, you pick a couple of heroes, see what happens, pick a couple of items, see what happens with those. Like, comment, subscribe. We're going to continue on with our session gameplay series next episode, where we hopefully pick up another win against this Pharaoh guy. Hope to see you there. Bye.